Week on Xenomania, we're booking a stay at the Bilberry Woods Hotel in Ireland, where a host of interesting employees await, not all of them benevolent. We should be safe as long as we stay out of the honeymoon suite, which of course we'll do. Right, guys? Right? We'll discuss witches, Damien McCarthy, effective suspense, and unlikable leads. Also, we witness the consequences of slasher stash. And what movie will my co hosts eliminate from history this time? This is Hokum. This is Xenomania.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Tonight we are going to be talking about the Bear Witch Project.
Wait, what?
The Bear Witch.
No.
What?
Is that the naked witch?
What?
And not
Bear? Not B-A-R, B-A-R-E. The Bear
Yeah.
Witch?
The bear witch.
BEAR?
Yeah, that would be better.
B-A-R-E.
I'd be down for a
It's a grizzly bear
BAR
witch?
Grizzly Adams Bear Witch? What?
I mean,
No, it's not that kind of witch.
we could change it up and do the Bear Wench Project.
The Bear.
Ooh, that'll get us in trouble fast. Everybody,
Mhm.
tonight we're talking about Hokum.
Oh, right. Hokum.
Hokum.
Hokum, yes.
There was no
Which had
Bear
the-
Witches. There was
Thank
chains,
God
though.
she wasn't bear. She was not one that you want to see bear.
It would have brought back memories of watching The Shining all over again. And you're like going to the bathtub scene as a kid, and you're like, all right. And then that turnaround.
Nah, he hit you hard with that one.
No,
For
oh,
sure. So,
Kubrick.
Hokum. Who's behind Hokum, gentlemen?
Oh, this is the return of our friend Damien McCarthy, who directed Oddity, which we talked about
Oh, that's right.
about 5 weeks ago or so.
Which
Yeah,
was
it
a-
was 5 weeks already. Wow.
Great film too. It
Mhm.
still holds on, and I'm happy to watch Hokum. He keeps it up. I mean, his writing is improving slowly but surely. He's doing great. I feel like I'm excited for his next film, but I feel that, not to go into the Ebert way, but I feel like there are beats where, as a film goer, you're like, all right, I kind of know where this is going. And John and I were talking about this a minute ago. Is you have this plot with the witch, but then there's a subplot within it, which kind of gets the viewer's attention and kind of like manipulates them. And reading reviews, a lot of people said they were confused about the middle and all that because of a lot of the story that was going on. Just watch the film and it pieces itself together. That's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna say on
I
that.
almost felt like the witch was an afterthought in this one, or
Mhm.
placed in there intentionally like an afterthought. Definitely not the marquee.
hmm The witch is really the secondary antagonist. Like, there is someone way more villainous in this than the witch. The witch is just sort of doing what witches do.
Yeah, or at least witches in this universe.
Which is a nice twist, though, because you're walking in expecting like this ghost story, witch story, and you're ready for the eeriness. And it starts off like with the bang when the rain coming down, the thunder and lightning. Om, om,
Um,
om. Okay, om.
Which is definitely purposeful.
You're oming in the beginning because like when he's typing, you see the ghost figure in like the corner of your eye, and you're like, okay, this is
Jesus.
the type of movie.
I
What?
apologize to all involved.
Oh,
Was-
So is that
Dude.
its mom? By the way, spoilers. By
Yes.
the way, if you haven't seen Hokum yet, cut it out. Go see the damn movie. It's available.
yeah, we're
everywhere.
gonna spoil this one.
cheese is
There's no
sold or
way to
whatever.
talk about without
Yeah.
spoiling parts. So we're just gonna spoil all of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do that.
Yes, it
Go
is
see
his
it.
mom.
Okay. Welcome
Just
back.
the
I hope
same.
you enjoyed just watching Hokum real quickly, wherever cheese is sold. So that is his mom on the staircase. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
definitely his mom on the
I feel like
staircase.
they connected quickly. They connected quickly though too.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
no.
they plant the seed, but John and I both, I'm sure you did too, Ryan. We were like, yeah, we 100% know what happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
as
mean,
as
you can just see
as soon as he
like
brought it up,
his face.
as soon as he brought up
But
that
it's
his
cinched.
mom was killed by someone who was too young to be punished, and his dad fell apart afterwards and became, like alcoholic, abusive guy.
Yeah. Which, it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It
it is,
it
but he did
damn,
get mommy with the glicky.
Mm-hmm.
Pew pew,
Mm-hmm.
pew pew.
Yeah,
it was
Not
more
the
than a
little mattress
glicky.
side.
It's a Dirty Harry style.
And he does mention the thing that cinched it for me is when they're like, they should have hung the one who did it too. And I think, all right, it's definitely him.
Mhm.
He definitely did it.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah,
immediately
and
thought of Garden State. Which similar. That was a similar
Mhm.
vibe. If you guys have ever seen Garden State, he accidentally like pushes his mother down and she $1,000,000 babies herself. And
Yep.
it's
But
like, okay.
I mean, even before that revelation, you can tell there's a different relationship with his mom and his dad just based on how he spreads the ashes. He's very careful
Yep.
and
Oh
exacting
yeah.
with his mom, and with his dad, it's just like dump, done.
Which was very funny.
Yeah, I laughed at that too. I was like, oh, I'd
Yeah.
do the same.
That's nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I,
both of them are getting it.
that's where casting someone like Adam Scott in this works, because he has the ability to do funny as well.
He's got so much range. I'm a big Severance fan, and it shows so much in that. And I mean, you can go back to Step Brothers too.
You can thank
Like,
Severance for the fact that he's in this movie because I don't think he makes
yeah,
it here without Severance. You got Parks and Rec and things like that
Mhm.
coming up, but
Oh,
without
you got
Severance, it's showing his real range. Yeah.
mhm. He's got some horror experience with Krampus. So like he's been around
yep,
it.
Yes, Krampus.
Krampus.
We work with Krampus, everybody, if you didn't know that.
He's a friendly bloke.
For most of the year. Yeah.
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 I've worked with him personally. He's always cool with me.
His beard is like down to his belly button, and when he's in Krampus mode, he's the best. So, anyway, to
Well-
avoid tangents, speaking of bearded weirdos, let's talk about bearded weirdo milk guy that Ohm finds in the woods. Because I've been to a lot of Fish concerts and stuff, as has Krampus, by the way, that we're talking about. And I know when you find a bearded weirdo in the woods named
It's a
Milk.
good time.
No,
Jerry.
he's not named. Yeah, Jerry. That's right. His name is unremarkable, Jerry. But
Jerry.
he's got the mushroom milk. He's got the psilocybes.
Jerry seemed like a cool dude.
Too.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
what
Actually,
did he call it? What was it called? What
Yeah,
do you call
actually,
it?
that's a good question.
Because
Yeah,
he
let's dig
Ohm
it up.
was like, it's moonshine. He's like, no, it's like Everclear or something.
No, he had
No.
a real Irish name
Mhm.
It's such a good scene.
for it. Poutine. Poutine.
Gucci.
Pronounced poutine.
Poachine.
What's
Okay.
he?
Anglicized as poutine or pachine, meaning
trying-
pot, indicating the small pot that's used to make it. Nifty, simple and sweet. I love the Irish.
There you go.
Very simple.
This
Yeah,
guy,
Jerry- Jerry's an interesting dude. You run into that dude in the woods, you're in for something.
somebody's about to get naked as soon as you see him.
Mm-hmm.
Might be you, might be him. You don't know.
Might be both of you. Might be someone you haven't met yet.
Could be dressed up in wolf skins by morning.
Yeah, I can see that. Some Red Dead Redemption style right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Jerry was cool. And the second he comes into the movie, you're like, all right, this is a guy I like. He chit chats with him a little bit, but with Ohm a little bit about what he's doing there, and gives him a little bit of lore. I think he's a good foil in the beginning.
Yep.
Gives him a little bit of lore. Doesn't talk about the witch. What does he talk about?
Not directly. But
Woods, and he hates the owner of the hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he hates the owner. He's friends with Fiona. I thought he does. I thought he did mention the witch. up in
Maybe.
the suite. Or
Maybe.
something in
Hey,
the suite. Yeah, because
hey,
that's the curse.
I mean, yeah,
Maybe
like
that's
everybody brought up the honeymoon suite as met them. Like it was a pretty prevalent topic. Hey,
Yeah.
you can't go in the
It's what
honeymoon suite.
overshadows.
Yeah. Yeah, no honeymoon
stay
suite.
away from there. He's like, my parents were
Closed.
in the honeymoon suite. My
Yeah.
parents stayed in the honeymoon suite. Blah blah blah
Look
blah
at
blah. I guess there
look
was
at
no
how
witch
well it
there when
worked
the
out for
parents were
them.
there.
Or maybe there was, and
Well, I
the
mean,
witch
Yeah.
the witch cursed them,
he's the jerk.
and that's ultimately what happens.
Ah,
Yeah,
ooh.
we at some point have to get into how unlikable is.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Easily. Yeah, he starts out as a dick. He maintains it pretty much throughout the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
what makes it so interesting because he doesn't believe. He's not like he's trying to be a realist, but Jerry is the realest one in the whole movie.
Oh yeah, 100%. Jerry's
You know.
a sweetheart. But
Mhm.
Ohm is the worst kind of dickhead, and he's the pretentious writer dickhead who's
Yeah.
Mhm.
jaded by the world, kind of, and himself for ruining his own
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Yeah. Bit of a drinking
He's a
problem.
dire alcoholic.
Mhm.
It's like you want to feel bad for him, but you can't because he's such a dick. And
I like him because he drinks good alcohol.
Yeah,
it's the only
he's
thing.
got good taste,
Drink
but
scotch.
yeah, he's the kind of unlikable that really gets at me. You know, the kind of unlikable who's mean to service people, to the people doing stuff for him.
Hold on, John. Ryan's
Hairball,
dying.
hairball.
There it is. He finally muted.
Bring it up, buddy.
That's a man right there who just
Come on,
inhaled some
buddy.
water. Oh man. Oh, is he gonna make it, everybody? No, let's keep it going. Look at the veins.
Wrong
Oh,
pipe.
The
It was the
vascular.
wedge.
I saw it. I saw it as it
Mhm.
occurred.
The
And I
wed-
thought this is gonna go bad. Oh, sorry about that, John. What were you
Sorry,
saying?
John.
all right.
My bad.
Before Ryan was
I mean,
cursed?
I was saying that Ohm is the kind of unlikable that really gets at me. You know, the kind of the person who's not kind to service people, who's he can't even just put on the act to somebody, to a bartender or a desk clerk or a bellboy. And I mean, listen, there are some justified things, like a bellboy asking you to read his manuscript. I might say no. That seems like a
Probably should.
reasonable no. But most of the rest of it is just kind of Ohm as a jerk.
And he's like, just to put it into perspective, by the way, for the bellboy to ask that, this is like an Andy Weir level author at this point. 3 of his novels have been made into major motion pictures, I believe he says.
Yep.
So you get that right there. So this guy is not obscure at all. He's a household name. If you
Mhm.
don't read, you know who this guy is. And the bellhop's like, oh yeah, I'm a writer too. And he's so almost so mean about it. He's like, oh yeah, and is that a Halloween costume you're wearing? The bellhop costume? And I was like, oh, that was so mean. That was probably meaner than when he burns him with the hot spoon later.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty bad
That
too.
was
so
pretty rough
bad.
too.
There was a lot of
That was assault,
lot of
actually.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I
Jesus.
know almost stressed a little bit because he's trying to finish his Conquistador trilogy, and
Oh, yeah,
as
that's
is
right.
sort of shown to us at the beginning, he seems to be kind of struggling with how to complete the trilogy. Of a conquistador
I mean, he's at
wandering
the
the
hardest
desert
part,
with a little boy. Yeah,
which they don't talk about at all, by the way, like what the relationship is, how the boy became his pseudo
no,
squire. But
yeah.
I'm totally invested in that. But the
Except for
best
the
part
fact
is that he's
the
stressed
con-
out. He's already written the book.
mm-hmm.
He's at
Yeah,
the end.
he's
All he has to do is tweak
yeah,
the ending. That's the
yeah,
easy part.
yeah. All he has to do is have his conquistador not off the little boy, and he seems
Which,
determined for
is
that to be
struggling
how
with.
he wants to
Yeah.
conclude it.
Yep. I want to smash the kid.
Did you guys get vibes of Don Quixote when you first
Um,
saw him? With
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
kind of,
I mean, it
kind
brings
of, yeah.
just the look.
that's the conquistador helmet that you
It's
see Don
just
Quixote wearing. when he's tilting at the windmills and all that.
Just the vibe, the disheveled and all that. And I was just like, oh man, I hope he's got the brains of like more than the brains of Quixote. Put it like
Don
that.
Quixote was a genius.
He was
My
just
opinion.
a mad genius.
Yeah, the best kind. The best
But
kind.
Mad geniuses are great.
but it's interesting that Stephen King, definitely.
He's not a mad genius.
Cujo,
If he kept drinking, that was drug induced.
that's a
I'm
mad
talking
genius
like
right
real,
there.
like non chemically aided madness. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Gonna-
For us all, guys.
I was gonna
Too bad
mention
we're
Dark
not
Tower, but I didn't want to start that tight. That
There's
rant.
none in the Dark Tower.
Exactly. That's what I was
There's
saying. I didn't want
no
to start
mad
that rant.
genius. No mad geniuses.
Well, here and there.
Where is there? Discworld has a couple, I think. Discworld's another. If you don't know Discworld, it's definitely Terry Pratchett. It's definitely worth your time. By the way, if you haven't read it, you might very much so enjoy it. You especially, John, knowing your taste. Let's see. All right, back to Hokum. So we got
Back to
Mushroom Guy
Hokum.
figured out. We got Ohm being Ohm, which isn't great for anyone. And then Ohm decides that he's done his deed that he came there to do. He met Fiona, which you see like kind of what could have been a budding little romance sort of thing. But he destroys that with his personality very quickly. And then he decides to finish his plan.
Yeah. We did not know that finishing his plan meant finishing himself.
Yeah. And not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
This is the bad way.
No.
You can try doing it both ways, but then you might end up like Bill from Kill Bill.
Or Michael Hutchins from NXS.
Layer joke. Ooh. Layer joke right there. All right. If you got that at home, we can be friends. And then Fiona saved Ohm.
Fiona and Albie the bellboy. I was a little.
Yeah.
But really, I think what shocked me more was afterwards the fact that he survived. I thought we were about to go into some sort of like
Ooh,
afterlife kind of thing there. And if I remember right, like the first scene or so afterwards is in black and white. So it really gives that perception. But I'm glad they didn't, because that could have been messy and
gone sideways.
not nearly as enjoyable.
Doesn't fit in this movie either. They don't spend time with the ethereal at all in this movie. The witch, like, and mentioning that the witch is an afterthought, they barely develop the witch. There's like, I don't know, the supernatural aspect is very, very understated in this movie, it works for this movie, but it's an odd choice. It is an odd choice.
I feel like it grows his connection, because he sees his mom in the beginning, her spirit, but after he tries to do what he did and you get the black and white scenes, I feel like he's more connected to the afterlife more than ever, because he starts hearing Fiona. I mean, you can even say when he eventually goes up to the suite, it's a stronger connection, because that's like kind of where the atmosphere is going on. That's like the main conduit. But even before then, he's getting like these messages and seeing these things, and it's like it's stronger.
Well, the thing I've noticed in these two McCarthy movies that we've watched is the horror is almost secondary to the suspense. Like, he's gonna put some creepy atmosphere stuff in there, but really he's almost telling like mystery crime story type of things. Like, what happened to Fiona? Who put Fiona there? Why did they put Fiona there? Like, and then there's a witch sort of lurking around and his mom's ghost lurking around. But they're secondary to the story.
Yeah, they are very much so.
They're just lurking.
They're lurking. Let's talk about Irish witches a little bit, since we're on the topic of witches. Yeah. The Irish do witches a little bit differently than other people do witches. The Russians have an interesting witch archetype too. They're not all bad either. Like Baba Yaga itself is duplicitous in that she can be helpful if you're, the right kind of person. But if you're not the right kind of person, she's gonna mess you up. Mess you up. But Irish witches were like shamanistic almost. I remember looking into them a while ago too, and there's connections to fairies, the fae, the good folk, if you will, and that's part of how they get their divine knowledge or not divine knowledge, but deep knowledge of healing botanicals and possibly charms and things like that.
Yeah.
So you would go to them as a wise person.
Yeah. And
So
they were
what's up
really
with this chick, man.
Yeah, they were really viewed that way. I found a couple of I was looking at stories of some Irish witches, and like I found Biddy Early, who is also known as the Wise Woman of Clare. Considered to be a witch,
I like
but
that.
the town loved her. Like she was a well-respected member of the community. She lifted curses and used herbs and plants to heal people and animals. Like, and the value in that in a time where actual medicine is minimal to non-existent in rural small town Ireland, it can't be understated. But she had issues. She got in a lot of fights with landlords.
I like her more and more.
Yeah. So she was always broke because she didn't take payment for any of the services. She'd accept food from time to time. So she was always either like on the verge of being evicted or evicted. And eventually that sort of situation is what gets her into a little bit of trouble. And she's put on trial as a witch. The Catholic Church puts her on trial, and it just seems like she's doomed to the witch's fate in the Catholic Church, but the whole town comes out in support of her. And essentially the church backs off on it. They, we can't kill this one. Like we can't stake this witch. So
I'm waiting for the twist where they come back.
No, this is
get reverse Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not always the case.
You heal enough syphilis, people are going to come out and help you out.
Oh, well, okay, fair. I thought you said given syphilis. I was like, I don't think they're going to come help you.
She might have done that too.
Given out.
I found a story about another one named Bridget Cleary, kind of similar stuff, but she doesn't survive, and it's not the Catholic Church that gets this one. It's her husband who comes to believe that she's possessed by dark spirits and, takes her out to prevent the dark spirits from taking everybody. But it really sounds like this guy was sick of being married.
It could go either way, but listen, we don't know the whole story. We don't know what was going on there after sundown. I got a new moon out there tonight while we're recording. You don't know what's going on in the witch's house.
Yeah, listen, some of us married them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
That's not a shot. The altar's right in that corner.
I was going to say, well, at least you can you can kind of hit stick her if she goes for it. Since you're in the room with it. But but I did enjoy that, and it makes me wonder, as they develop the villain side of the hotel owner and the manager of the hotel, and the fact that this witch is chained up in the hotel, it makes you wonder, was she at one time a good witch?
I don't think so, based on the story that Cobb tells on the idea of I don't know if it was like a debt, but she would take the dead back with the children, chain them, and then bring them to this dungeon where these monsters would feast on them, basically. I don't.
Yeah, it's bad witch.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was no benevolent in this lore, which is interesting because again, with the Irish folklore, everything is a little more friendlier, right? We talk about the fairies, the witches. You can even go with the leprechaun. But then when we Americanize it, the witch is evil. The leprechaun's evil.
I mean, we all
leprechauns could be pretty evil in Irish lore too.
Yes, more. Yes, not Warwick Davis evil though. Just
Well, the thing I would counter with that, it's even before it's Americanized. When the Catholic Church gets its hands on it, it's vilified.
There.
Like that's where
Yeah.
it gets to.
Sure.
That's where it gets to first, and then we just, Americans just love a good scary story like that. So we've taken every witch story and turned it that way.
Fair enough.
To film this in Ireland, I was took a trip to Barnes and Noble doing a little gift shopping, and I of course went to the magazine section as I always do, and I picked up my copy or the copy I
Playboy?
read in Barnes and Noble of Fanco. No, actually, they don't have those sections anymore. I looked, but no, not even Penthouse. But they had Fangoria magazine, and the first thing I open it's a whole article on Hokum. And the thing that stuck out was the connection of the lore and how important it was to be filmed in Ireland. And Damien McCarthy was discussing that the importance of it is you can film it anywhere, and that's why he filmed it in Oddity in Ireland as well, is the lore's connected there. That's the heart and the soul. You get a better understanding when the background, the atmosphere is what's connected to the original lore. Imagine.
I appreciate that answer in the interview, but I will call out Oddity on barely being about Irish lore. It's more about Jewish lore than it is Irish lore. You should have filmed it
There's
in
an
Israel.
Irish connection.
The only Irish connection is that they're Irish.
Yeah.
There we go.
But the lore isn't Irish. There's no Irish bellhop lore. I'm not challenging you. I'm challenging him. I really do feel like that's a bit of a stretch. You should have filmed in Jerusalem.
I mean, do you see werewolves in the city or do you see werewolves in the moors?
It depends on where the werewolves are living, I suppose.
I mean,
there's
the
one in
moors is
London.
Well, yeah, the moors. Well, no,
God.
hold on. Yeah, they do call it the moors in
They do call it
American
the-
Werewolf in London.
They do.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute.
Before it gets into the city. But that's a weird workaround for what he said.
That's kind of why I wanted to bring it up, because I was reading and I liked the idea, but then bringing up Oddity, it's like,
But
what?
I mean, I would
And
push back on that a little bit too, because Hokum doesn't have to be Ireland. You didn't make the witch a specific Ireland creation. You could
And an Irish witch in particular, right?
You could have said that
Maybe
somewhere else.
borrowed ideas, definitely.
Yeah, I think Ireland works for him because he's Irish.
I believe that is a little bit more. It's tough, dude. So to say the witch is Irish, it's as ubiquitous as the dragon. The dragon. It really is. The witch is just not Irish. It just isn't. There are Irish folklore witches, as John was pointing out earlier, based on real people in some cases too, which is super neat. But just like John said earlier too, just to reiterate, he doesn't point the compass in any direction. It's just a blank slate.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair.
Yeah. The thing I've read him saying that I really liked was about adapting it versus original. Yeah. So he said, I'd prefer to stick with my stories. Not to say that I think what I'm making is amazing and the best thing ever, but at least it's mine. Every film is hard work. It's 2+ years of your life. So I think you really want to believe in that story and hang on to that enthusiasm the whole way through to the end. And that to me is he, maybe at some point the offer to adapt something becomes too great and he has to do it. But that original voice is exactly what I want.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's definitely well needed in the horror community now. We've been flooded with a lot of remakes, a lot of retooling, everything. And then you get an original story, and does it hit? The ones we've covered have hit. The ones we've discussed about on the podcast, off the podcast, have not hit. These do hit, and it's because I feel it's going back to the mentality of the suspense. Horror, and I've said it before, horror doesn't need to be gory. You just need the suspense, the music, the thrill. Of course you can throw a couple of scenes where it's like, whoa, okay. you're thrown back, but the whole idea is to be on the edge of
Yeah.
your seat. And, when we get to like more slashers, because I feel like slashers definitely change that vibe, and we've covered slashers, but it has changed that vibe of it's like we want more of the gore. We want blood everywhere. And he's taking it back where it's like that slow beat.
And that ties into something else I read of McCarthy saying is, if the threat is just supernatural, how interesting is that? And like that, to me, that's the part of his films that has worked the best for me, is that it's not just jump scares and scary atmosphere, but like, even if we've seen through the mystery in the two that we've done, the two that we've covered, it still works better for me than this movie would have worked if it's just a ghost story or a witch story.
Yeah.
He does a nice job with it's like a new wave noir, if that makes sense. It's got like that noir beat, the mystery, like you kind of know what's going on and stuff, and it's again mixed with that atmosphere, but being new wave, it's just a little more artistic. It's not that slow beat of Humphrey Bogart and the Maltese Falcon,
I'm bleeding. I'm biting my tongue so hard right now, John. I'm not gonna bite on that one. I'm not gonna bite on that one, but I wanted to.
New wave noir.
Yeah, it's the way you say noir.
Yeah.
Noir.
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 Noir. Noir. LA Noir.
Action of lore.
That game was amazing.
We did.
Speaking of games.
Yes.
Do you guys want to play a game?
Ooh, yeah.
You got a game for us?
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
I have
of
a game
course.
for you.
Use the
And
noir, the game.
listen, tonight's
Sound like
game.
you're speaking in Chinese.
Noir.
Noir.
Aw, he's like, it's like a kung fu movie now.
It's all those Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah.
My
Don't blame Bruce Lee.
He does
for
it
your
on purpose. There's no way you don't
mispronunciations.
do this on purpose. All right, let's see. We got a game this week.
We do have a game.
Is it a stash or slash?
It is a stash or slash, and this is the first
All right.
slash where we have an actual consequence for one of you guys' prior decisions. Yeah,
I hate this.
because one of you
Which one?
of you guys has already slashed the first movie that we're gonna do.
Oh, so he's. Oh,
hold on.
no.
So hold on.
You
Does
can
that
do the same
consider
movie
still a?
again?
Does that consider still a?
It's
slash,
an automatic
or-
slash. It's you.
Damn it.
This movie
Rough,
doesn't.
Dude. If it's the
one-
thing, I'm gonna be so mad.
This movie doesn't exist in one of your universes, and let's find out which poor unfortunate soul that is. Movie number 1. You're lucky I was nice to you, Kearns.
Is there a theme? Oh,
Yeah, you already
Oh,
you
we're
already
nice to you. Well, I mean,
slashed The
this is-
Shining, so I put it up first. Ryan, slash or stash?
Hold
The
on.
Shining.
Did I?
You have not. I
No,
thought you had
Oh.
two.
Slash it.
I thought you had 2, but I have pretty extensive records, except for a page that got cat vomited on. I have pretty
Should've
good
kept it
records.
anyway.
I still have it. I just can't read it.
It's all blotched.
Yeah.
Is the theme of your game haunted hotels?
It is not haunted hotels. So Ryan, you can
Oh, damn.
Ryan, more
You can only-
consequences. You can now only stash 2 of these movies.
Well, I'm stashing The Shining.
I mean, that was a really good guess, to be
Right.
honest with you, though.
I mean, it's right out there because the haunted hotel.
It was.
I was waiting for him to clarify whether or not there was a theme.
There is a theme. There is definitely a
There's
theme.
always a theme.
And listen, this was, I guess, Ryan, you're paying for my kindness to Kearns by not making this later, where it really would affect the decisions he's already made. So you get to stash
sure.
2, Ryan. Movie number 2.
Did he
Sinister.
stash this or no?
He did. He
Oh,
stashed The
I
Shining.
stashed The Shining.
Sinister.
So this is interesting.
So I have an idea.
You're also
But-
you're banned from guessing now because otherwise you won't be able to keep it. You won't be able to stash
Making up
anything.
new rules.
If you guess wrong again, you have one stash left.
I did
Well, I'm
love
slashing.
Sinister.
I'm slashing Sinister. Yeah, you have a love for Sinister.
do
You saw
love
it in the you saw it in theater, so you have a way different.
My wife and I
experience.
very much so enjoyed it in the theaters too. We like sat and talked under like a street light in the car before leaving and everything. After Sinister, it hit so well. It was one of those things like
Was-
we were talking about earlier. It was kind of original and it was nice to have something new.
So you're stashing Sinister.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the hell you're doing though.
Well, you have
'Cause
one
we
more
have
movie to
malevolent
guess from.
entities involved.
Families.
But nobody's driven insane in Hokum.
No. All right. Let's see what number 3 is. Let's see if number 3 helps you. Hush.
I hated Hush.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because she's like deaf?
Yeah,
What?
that is exactly why I cannot stand deaf people. It's true. When I drive through a place where it says deaf child area, I go faster.
Yeah. I mean,
You couldn't hear.
you're supposed
You
to.
could hear.
No. If those people could hear what I say about them,
They're
oh,
reading our lips right now. That's
Just- can't stand them.
I'll take that as
Vile,
I'll
vile.
take that as a slash.
I will slash it, but not because of that. I don't hate deaf people for real. I just didn't like this movie at all. I love the actress. She was great in The Haunting of Hill House and all those things. But
I'm gonna join you and slash it. I did enjoy this movie though. I think it's a good concept. The idea of, she's alone, she's trying to write, and then this happens, and it's different for the slasher genre and the hide and seek because of
Yeah.
the effect that she's deaf and she can't hear. But then you can connect it to the one with Stephen Lang, where
Breathe.
Don't Breathe,
Yeah.
where he's blind and he can sense.
Yeah.
that movie took a turn.
Mhm.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
I'm happy I just watched that with my wife Jada and not anyone else.
Yeah,
That-
that scene's
yeah.
tough. It's a bucket of stuff. All right, let's move on before we get
Movie
too
number
graphic.
4. I spit on your grave.
Oh,
I really don't know what the theme is.
I can't think of it either.
Oh no, it's not that. I'm slashing it though.
There's not a folklore aspect in Hush.
There's
or
definitely
this.
none in I spit on. Yeah, the folklore is her. That is the folklore.
No
Folklore is
revenge.
Demi Moore
in
on
the
this
other
cover.
movies. So weird. Yeah, boy. I'm gonna stash it. I'm gonna stash I Spit on Your Grave.
You both have one stash left with 4 movies to go. Movie number 5.
Oh, you're evil.
I'm ready.
Misery.
You're evil, John. Oh,
Slash. The ankle scene.
oh,
ankle
that's
scene.
why I
No.
want to. That's why I want to stash it.
Ugh, I can't.
Of
Even
all
today.
the adaptations, oh, Annie Wilkes was so good too. She was great in Castle Rock. She becomes a hero in Castle
Which
Rock,
is-
heroine, if you will.
Look at those names
mean-
attached to it at the top too. Like that.
Right?
What?
William Goldman, Rob Reiner, and Stephen freaking King.
I mean, it's phenomenal, but the ankle scene. I mean, what other movies do you have? And I only have one stash left because of my debauchery.
Man, I can't with this one. I really don't want to slash Misery. It's so good. But I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to slash it because I know this is a trap. I
trap.
know John did not randomize this since he said the first movie is The Shining. Screw you,
Yeah.
Kurt. So,
I think I did you a favor with putting The Shining first.
by the way, Ryan, nothing supernatural is in Misery.
No,
Nothing. So this is.
I mean-
I mean, there's
the way Kathy Bates
Authors.
dresses.
All
I
right,
mean,
there's
yes.
authors in all of them.
Yes, there are. Good job.
Yes,
There
there
are.
are. Yeah,
Is that now I get
That's
an
it.
extra stash?
No, it's too late.
Oh, come on.
it's
I
only
still get an
3.
extra stash.
Fine, I'll give you an extra
No, it-
stash. You get to keep. You get to.
It's
You
really
get
great.
to stash 2 of the last 3.
Oh, it came
I'm
in.
making up the
I can't-
rules as I go along, guys.
And
I
they're,
see it.
everything's coming up Millhouse right now.
Okay. Next movie,
Ugh.
1408.
Oh,
It is. You don't like this movie, John, right?
I hate this movie.
this movie could have
I
been
don't
so much better
understand.
than it was.
It's good for what it is, though. For what they did, it is good, and I'm slashing it. But
Compare this to Identity for a second.
Identity's better.
You don't
Yeah.
even have to think. You just
But
know in
you're,
your soul.
I mean, this is Stephen King, but then you go with "And Then There Were None" as the basis for Identity, and "Then There Were None" is gonna take the cake for me. I just that book, the story, like, and
This
it
is
works,
lower
but
tier King too. This is a little novella thing.
Mhm.
That's just. I mean, it's a good read.
This was when he was doing, so you can give him $1 to $3, and you can adapt one of his one of his novellas that weren't big, and if it was good, they would make it, and this was one of them, I believe. He stopped
be.
doing it because so many people were doing a lot of his novellas, like The Tall Grass,
Yeah.
which was Stephen King. That was one of the final ones,
And
actually.
didn't he do that with his son though?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the adaptation. I thought it had to do with his son as well, but I might be wrong.
No. The adaptation was one of those $1 to $3. Hey, I'll give this to you if you let me write it. And
Interesting.
so you're stashing it then, Kearns?
No, I'm slashing it. 1408 pissed me off.
All right, we have 2 left. That means, Kearns, you're stashing both
John
of the
loves
last
to make
2.
me ruin. And of course, there's like a million. Oh yeah, no, I stashed Misery.
Oh, yeah, you
So I had one left, and I stashed Misery, so I only have one stash left. I should have lied. Game the
That-
system a little
No,
bit here.
because it would have caught
And-
up with you later on because I wrote down that you slashed Misery.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't want to slash Misery.
Movie number 7, In the Mouth of Madness.
I don't know what you have cooked up at the end, but I'm stashing this. This was amazing. This is one of the best movies. Like, not even horror movies. Like, Sam Neill crushes it in this.
I'm slashing it. I'm taking a chance.
Oh, you filthy beast. What have you
Taking
done?
a chance.
John
Taking a
Carpenter.
chance.
I hope the last
cries.
one's like Marley and me.
I hope it's great.
Last
Wait,
one.
no, he's laughing. I don't know.
I don't remember what it is. I truthfully do not remember what the last one is.
That's not good.
No, it's not good at all, right?
That's not good.
Movie number 8, Salem's Lot.
Oh,
Yes,
he's
yes.
good with that. He's good with
I'm
that.
fine
Oh, no.
with that.
I would trade
Fine with
out
that.
Salem's Lot for Misery in a second. But
God, the
that
original.
stings.
You know what? I saw a clip earlier when he digs up the grave because he hears the knocking, and he opens the casket and he's like, "What is that?" And the kid bites him. I was like, "It's gonna be a good day." Then you reference Salem's Lot.
Oh,
It's so, you know what, that miniseries is so good. I mean, the new movie does what it does. I mean, it takes liberties, but I feel like it's either that or Midnight Mass. It's really the other go-to, because that's Michael Flanagan's version of Salem's Lot in a nutshell.
so Hokum.
Hokum.
I want to know if I do something horrific and I have to live with it for the rest of my life, do I have the right to be a complete jerk to everybody I meet?
It's a 50-50.
You do not.
Ricky Gervais does a pretty good job of it in his little TV show on Netflix, Afterlife, I think it's called.
Yeah,
His wife passes from the big C, and he's a class A-hole to everybody, and it is hilarious.
it's also Ricky Gervais. I mean, that's his. I mean, the Golden Globes? Was it the
Yeah,
Golden Globes
yep.
where he like destroyed Hollywood?
Or is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the
I thought it was
Golden
SAG
Globes,
for a
yeah.
second, but now it's Golden Globes. 3 or 4 years, right? He did it.
Yep. In a
Yeah,
row.
he did it a
And
few
that was the
times,
final
yeah.
year he did it.
Great stuff. But yeah, so the answer is John says no.
No,
Interesting.
no.
Can I
Plenty-
ruin my fun?
I mean, I think you can choose to be a jerk, and I think you can be very happy being a jerk.
I
But I
don't
don't-
have it in.
I,
Guilt.
I don't think childhood trauma allows you to be a jerk automatically.
It certainly gives me an excuse to feel less bad about it afterward. That was a real
I
statement, by the way. But
I
no,
gotta agree.
I
I
agree
gotta
with you.
agree with. Yeah, I was gonna say I agree. You gotta be positive. Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you go through and you got the PTSD and stuff, it's hard. But like, it's not everyone else. Like, no one else did that to you, and you know. So it's like keep the positivity, be friendly, and it helps that spirit. It helps the
Yeah.
mentality a lot. I mean, you're always gonna hold on to it, but people who like know you get to know and that positivity. And I keep saying positivity because that's what really helps because it gets that person to that
This
next
is where we're
step.
gonna cue the more you know rainbow with the little
Spelled
star afterward.
spelled two
Or maybe we'll
O's.
just
Two
do
O's.
we'll do GI Joe for you instead.
No,
GI
no,
Joe.
please do GI Joe.
I'm
And
gonna
then
do it.
don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
with
it's with Jerry.
oh
Unless,
no,
there-
please,
unless it's
Jerry.
Yeah,
Jerry's
don't
milk.
forget we're still talking about Hokum. Yeah, Jerry's sweet milk. It's been established we're not allowed to do that. But all right, so is Ohm redeemed then? Can you come back from that?
I still thought he was a dick.
He's so part of me says he's not because it really like a lot of he spends the whole second or starts the second half of the movie looking for Fiona. And it's really it takes a while for me to feel like he's really concerned about what actually happened to Fiona more than he's concerned with I need to thank Fiona for saving me.
Yeah.
His and I guess like you could argue that whatever your motive for doing it is, you're still trying to find this missing woman, but it's more self-involved still than I'm trying to find this missing person because she's a missing person. I think the moment that melts him is his mom. That's where
Yeah.
he figures it
Yeah.
out. And even
Agreed.
then, it's only so much. And when
Yeah,
Al-
he's gone pretty far out there.
when Albie comes to visit him in the hospital at the end, he's still kind of standoffish. And I mean, Albie gives him reason to because he admits to
Burnt my hand.
yeah. Well, he burned Albie's hand, and Albie in return spiked his drink.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. It didn't stop him from going out, doing the thing he did though.
Yep.
Which is even funnier. Or maybe it was
Mhm.
Spike the night before. I don't remember which.
It
No,
was
same
I think
night.
he burned him.
the
He
same
burned him
night.
the night that he tried to.
burned him.
Yeah.
He burned him. He spiked it. Tried to do his self harm. So does I think you could question how much of that was Ohm's own thinking and how much of it was the chemicals the Jerry's mushrooms that were slipped in his drink. But
Probably the
They
chemicals.
did give you the questioning thing. I remember being a little annoyed by that when I put that together watching the movie. I was like, don't make me question. You can't make a linear plot like this that's got no to it and then put in like a curve. Did it really happen? Did it not really happen? Is Dorothy asleep the whole time? I don't like that. In this movie, I don't like that.
She was in
Shutter
Oz, sir.
Island. Amazing. Do it in Shutter Island.
I wound up with no questions. I firmly believed it happened. And, it's just, yeah. But
That's like, everything happened in that film.
And just for listeners, notice how we've gotten to this minute of the show and we've yet to speak of the witch in the movie. We've yet to discuss the witch in the movie at all. Just the premise of her has been brought up. But it's so perfect for the movie that they just build the suspense of the witch for forever. And the bell really is the suspense for the witch predominantly. But
that's
not
one
in the
thing.
movie.
McCarthy does a lot with bells. And it's like you get the same bellhop bell from Oddity showing up in Hokum. You get the bell for the room service, like plays a significant role in this. You know, maybe next time we do a McCarthy movie, we have to look into bells. 'Cause he's doing something.
100%. Well,
He's
you
doing
mentioned
something
earlier
there
off.
with them.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
mentioned
he is.
earlier off air too that this is 100% the same universe. Is that
It has to
verified
be.
from reading, or is that just because you're super smart? Yeah, it
N-
has
I
to be.
mean, a little bit of both. The bell is definitely the same bell. The bellhop bell is definitely the same bell. And like, have to watch the end of Oddity again and get a good look at that bellhop. But I mean, it's not Albie. It
It's
could
so
be
interesting that it could
Albie.
be Albie too, though, because Albie's alive at the end of Hokum.
Well, you're
Uh,
assuming that. Well, yeah. I mean, does he have to be alive at the end of Hokum?
No, I
Oh,
mean he
you,
doesn't have to. He doesn't have to continue being alive.
oh, you guys think it's Albie? I don't think it's Albie.
I think
What do you
that
think?
bellhop at the
He's
in
the
Oddity
manager?
could be Albie.
I think it's Mal.
The bellhop in Oddity.
Hear me out. Hear me out. He gets dragged at the end, right? So
Mm-hmm.
eventually we do see the witch, which is built up, right? And you see her at the end, and you know, Ohm is trapped, Mal is trapped, but Ohm, he gets free. No degloving, no thumb breaking, alas, dangerous animals.
Oh, but
But
some
Mal
good
is
use of
thinking
chalk.
into
Well, almost
yes.
good use of chalk. He screwed
Yes.
that up too.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
It's like,
Less
how hard is
pressure.
it to draw a freaking circle?
Squiggly lines. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, for real.
But Mal getting taken into like the belly of the beast, that could be that connection where that's like his like punishment.
That's how
They're
she
stuck with the
drags
bell.
people back there when they don't make it to her. She uses the bellhop bell. Ding, ding,
Oh.
ding. I mean,
And chains.
change. See, now if he does this with all of his movies and there's an interconnection between them all, that'll next level him a bit. I feel like he's like B- level for me right now, and he could be an
Okay.
A+ so quickly, but he's right there. He's missing something. He's got this same formulaic storytelling style. He's got this lore that he likes to use, that he likes to create, but it's never, there's no depth to his movies, in my opinion. I like them. They're highly enjoyable. And you don't need super depth to make a highly enjoyable movie. But for him to level up to being somebody great, I think he needs that. Maybe that's going to be it, connecting all of his movies.
Yeah.
Check, you went B-.
I'm all right, fine, B.
I was going to say, I'm at a B level too.
B.
So it's like,
Does the minus matter that much?
yes,
He could be so much better.
4 points.
He could be
I
so
thi-
much better. Like
I
I'm
mean-
never blown away by.
I
these
think he's
movies.
gonna be. Like he's made 3 full lengths. You know, and to be
mean,
where
it's a
he
fair
is
point.
through 3 in this era is a pretty good place.
He's got the he's got the luck of having the fact that nobody with any talent is coming up with anything original. Just like you
He's got
guys
the luck-
said earlier.
Luck of the Irish.
I look at the Irish. You have like movies like Weapons and stuff like that blow you away, and movies like Hokum and Oddity really get you going too. It's because you've never seen anything like that before, and it's kind of nice. Well, I mean, we've seen stuff like this, but you know what I mean. Original.
Yeah. Now,
It's different.
Yeah.
just to back up a little bit, the one thing I would push back on Ryan's thought that Mal could be the haunted bellboy in Oddity.
Push back.
Mal's not a bellhop. Mal is like a desk clerk
He's a manager.
/ supervisor, and the owner
True.
of the hotel's
Middle
son-in-law.
management type.
Yeah,
No wonder he
Wait.
turned out evil.
he's middle management type who's only middle management type because he's married to the boss's daughter. And he's
True. But that could be his punishment, though.
And the owner hates him. It's even better. Or his father-in-law hates him. Take your pick.
Both. That's a double whammy.
and
Yeah,
and
that sucks.
just based on what I remember of the end of Oddity, the body type is more Albie than Mal. I mean, this is all speculation.
It is. It does.
we're just
It
sort of
does look like
making-
algae.
We're just sort of making up theories right now about the connectedness.
You know, the
of
picture of the
these,
bellhop's going to be in the episode. By the way,
Did he drink too much of Jerry's concoction? Like, is that the question?
I mean, listen,
I mean, that would be the solution.
is Albie ever really in the hospital room at the end?
Ooh. So you're thinking he's just a spirit, and like that's like
stop it.
okay,
See,
okay.
that would make this a
So-
great movie.
But that means would he be he's benevolent in the hotel because that's like his spiritual guidance, his home, so to say. And then when it's taken out, he becomes malevolent because he's not home. Ooh.
When you ring the bell and make him
Oh.
serve you, he becomes malevolent. I mean,
That'd be kinda
Okay.
neat.
it could be.
Like the SCP Shy Guy. Once you see him, he just comes for you. It's kind of like that. I can't find a single still image of the bellhop. I'm scouring right now.
Hold on, let me see.
Maybe I get rid of the word ending. Come on, Google Images. Yeah, I got nothing. All right, I guess this is going to make for great TV, so we should probably move on. Oh, I see the bellhop.
Ooh, is it him?
It looks a lot more like him than it looks like, what's his fizz? Mel.
Mel.
But
Mel.
this is on Instagram. It could just be a dude dressed up as the bellhop as well, which I'm suspicious because it's not an image from the film. So we're gonna move on. All right, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see it there. John's
right.
gonna be our only hope. He's gonna have to get it.
I may have to like screen cap it from TV or something.
Exactly. That's exactly what you're gonna. Got homework, buddy.
Yeah. So, before we go and tell people what we think of Hokum, do we want to hear what some other people think?
Yes.
Reluctantly,
curious.
yes.
I've found some interesting ones. Before we do that, it's 90% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes,
Wow.
83% audience score.
Okay.
So people
Yeah.
have mostly liked Hokum.
And with as critical as I've been of it, by the way Rotten Tomatoes works, John will remind you right now, is anything above 3 stars is a positive
Fresh.
score.
It's
Is
a
a
positive
fresh.
score. Yep, it's fresh. So, this person loved Hokum. 5 stars. Wow. One of the greatest horror movies ever. The story, atmosphere, and aesthetics are brilliant. Such a cool location. Creepy AF without having to use gore at all.
Okay.
I mean,
I can agree. I can agree with what they're saying. I mean,
once you get beyond that opening, it's not one of the greatest horror movies ever.
no.
It might not wind
No.
up being a
I
top
mean-
5 for this year, but it's good. And then we have people who did not like it at all. 1 star. The story is a mess. Personally, I see it as a murder mystery movie wrapped in a horror atmosphere. Honestly, it would have been better without the horror scenes at the end. It just made the story feel weird.
I could see that gripe. I don't agree with it as far as seeing it as a negative that this person does, but I understand that take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if the horror
It's not
mystery
like J.J.
doesn't-
Abrams reappropriating stuff for Cloverfield bad.
Yeah. If you don't get into the horror and mystery elements of Hokum, it's going to miss you. Which it definitely misses our last reviewer. 1/2 star.
Oh, no.
Absolute trash fire
Oof.
of a movie. I never heard of this and was actually excited to watch it based on cast and reviews. Boy, was I
It's one of the
in
worst
for a
kinds of fire.
hurting with this one. Such garbage. It is so
Kind
slow
of hurt.
and so boring, and the storyline sucked as well. Anyone reviewing this thinking it's deep and profound is just as dumb as the movie. I watched this expletive deleted and wrote this review to save you the almost 2 hours of life this would have drained from you. You're welcome.
I
That
need to
guy
hear
needs
his
to go
other
touch
reviews.
grass. Yeah, we got to follow that
Hey.
guy in the future because I don't think that the reasoning warrants his half star, though.
No.
That's the
No.
thing. The movie isn't deep, and it's not. I forgot the term he used, but I think deep covers it. He didn't. It doesn't hit you that way where there's like this. It's not Shape of Water or something. It's freaking Hokum. You know that getting into it.
Yeah.
You can feel the tone and tenor of that within the first 8 minutes, and you're like, you realign yourself. Go, oh, okay.
Mhm.
There's a weird dwarf man out in the woods that drinks milk with mushrooms in it.
Poor
Yeah.
Jerry.
Jerry's the man.
Poor
Jerry's the hero of this story.
Kind
He
of
is.
is.
Takes a crossbow bolt to the dome, but he gets it done.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ryan? What are you going to give this movie, buddy?
3.75.
That's pretty solid.
I
Actually, way lower than I thought you were going to give it.
I was going to give it a 3.5, but I feel like I agree the atmosphere is there. I like the story beats. It's very predictable. As long as you're focused, you solve everything, but it's an enjoyable horror film. And it brings back that universal style that I feel needs to come back and that I've been frothing at the mouth for, where it's
Yeah.
just that build up, the music. Doesn't have to be gory. It's intelligent. You got a character like it's bringing back the idea of a main character that you don't like. And even as he progresses, you might not still like him, but you're like rooting for him to do the right thing. And maybe at the end he does, maybe at the end he doesn't, he or she, but you still are with them with that journey. And I like that. Because again, all characters, like, you don't have to like all characters. You're following their story, and it's the anti-hero type deal, right?
Mhm.
Like, you don't have to like the anti-hero a lot.
I suppose calling him an anti-hero is even like
I-
kind of
I-
generous.
Yeah.
I don't know what other term to
No, I
like,
mean, I think you got as
utilize
close
for
as
him.
you can get. It's just, I don't think there's a word for what Ohm is.
He's not the Punisher.
He's a
not
schmuck.
like that, man. He's just
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the word. All right, so 3.75. 3.7. That is lower than I thought you were going to give it. I agree with you that it is predictable. It's not terribly deep. I also think that that's not a prerequisite for a good movie. I tend to enjoy the deeper, more thoughtful ones, more philosophical and stuff. But I need a break from that crap too, because it just weighs on you. It's true. It's like swimming with lead. You have to lighten things up a bit. I gave this a 4. I was gonna even
Wow.
I was flirting with higher, but he's got to earn it. His 4.25, 4.5s might be down the road.
Mhm.
I don't know what I gave Oddity. I don't remember, but
I couldn't
I-
remember either.
I liked
Did we give it
Oddity.
across the board? 4s?
I think we
4
might have.
stars?
We might have.
I liked Oddity a smidge more than this.
Yep.
I just did. Because I really thought I was gonna like this more than Oddity,
Mhm.
and I felt a little let down that it didn't seem to beat the previous movie as far as
Mhm.
being better. But 4, and I can't wait to see what he does next. I think he's loaded. He's primed. We can get something good.
Mhm.
John.
Yes. See, I've bounced on since watching it. I've bounced between a 3.75 and a 4.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna sit with the 4. I feel like this is one that's gonna change every time I watch it, though, and it
Okay.
could get better depending, if
I don't know.
this if the hypothetical elements of this connected universe continue
just
to
want
play
that.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that is true. I think the universe is connected, but I think like the Albie at the end thing, if that turned out to be real, this would be a 5. This would go up to like a
Yeah.
4.5, actually, not a 5.
But it's also one I think could benefit from rewatching.
yeah.
I like you liked Oddity a little bit more, but I also went into Oddity with different expectations.
True.
I didn't really know anything about Oddity when I sat to watch it, where Hokum's been pretty hyped.
Oddity also launches the first 10 minutes of Oddity.
Mhm.
Fools.
Yeah.
It's way better. It's way better than the rest of Oddity
Yes.
and way
Mhm.
better than the rest of Hokum. To be honest with you, he nailed that opening.
Yeah.
I hope he does
Yeah.
something bigger. It doesn't have to be a slasherific opening either next time, but I hope he does something new that's a little bit different than these two sort of very similar storylines.
Mhm.
Like the real danger was your husband the whole time.
Yeah.
I want to see the witches dig through the ditches and burn through the witches, baby.
At Black Masses.
Slip back in my Dracula.
There it is. I enjoy the fact that we all know things. All right, guys, I think it's top 5 time.
I think it is.
Top 5, yes, and I'm going different. Yes, it is. I'm going differently. This movie, I was talking to John, and this movie has a plot, right? It advertises it's a witch story. However,
as
when
it
you get
should.
into it, there's another yeah, yes. When you get into it, there's focusing on a whole new entire plot. And this can happen in the beginning of a movie, the middle of a movie, the ending of a movie. But I'm not talking about movies tonight. I'm talking about what I love, and that's video games. So these are top
Sick.
5 horror video games. Because, summer's coming up. Let's be real.
All right. Let's get into the top 5
Hold
spots.
on, hold on. People are watching movies. People
We got
play
work
video
tomorrow.
games.
Let's go.
All right.
Jesus
So
Christ.
number five, we're going to start off with the Dark Pictures anthology, Little Hope. It's one of those interactive games, different characters, adventure. Feel like you're playing a horror movie yourself. You're directing it based on the decisions. And Little Hope, I start off with it because it starts off with a family. They're in Massachusetts. They're having a peaceful time. It's 2 parents who fostered a whole bunch of children, which is cool. And the house burns down. Years later, their doppelgangers are basically on a bus heading to a town for college, and it gets tied into fog, ghosts, and the Salem witch trials. So the whole idea of this family, this members being connected, intertwines with that whole idea. Because you think, okay, they're in this town, they're investigating, there's monsters everywhere, and then the Salem witch trials is that curveball.
Cool.
Because there's no mention of it at all when you're hearing the storyline or anything. It's just this little ghost girl, very much like Alma from Fear, which leads to my number 4. Dark Pictures anthology, Man of Medan. Opens up, right? We got a ship. Everyone's happy on the cruise. And then we get this ghost ship that appears. Now, the thing with the ghost ship, because you're all focused on the ghosts and stuff, it's not really a ghost story. The curveball is the treasure chest that's actually letting go of hallucinogens.
Thought you were going to say the friends we made along the way.
No.
I really thought it was coming, to be honest with you.
No,
It's filled with what?
So it's like an hallucinogenic gas. So it's at the end of World War II. It's a U.S. Navy ship. It's got a bunch of gold that they found, and there's like an hallucinogenic gas that's within the gold, I guess, planted by the Nazis. And what happens is it affects the ship. So all these ghosts, making it a ghost story, quote unquote, is actually hallucinations the player is seeing the entire time.
Cool.
Curveballs. And then we get to number 3. We kind of started this whole horror movie video game craze is Until Dawn. The idea of choices. It's a great game. I'm talking about the original 2015 one. The remake's awesome, adds new story, but the original takes it because you open up, parties going on, and these 2 girls go missing in this blizzard and they disappear. And what turns out to be this slasher revenge story turns into this monster film as Wendigos start coming out of everywhere. And it's like, okay, you're like so set up with this slasher story, and then it becomes a creature feature. And as a horror fan, that's what you want. You want all those mixes of horror elements into it, and they do it very well. Now, we'll get to number 2. This is where we'll get to the nitty-gritty, and that's Resident Evil. And Resident Evil 1996, you open it up, it's a zombie game, right? You're trying to escape, trying to save your team. But then when you get into the laboratory, it's even more because you learn about the T virus, the idea that it was supposed to help people, and it became this virus. And it's like, there's so much, it's so much deeper than what it's expected to be. from this third person shoot 'em up, and it's like, wow, you got a story. It's more than a zombie film. There's a meaning to it. The idea of people trying to help has created this chaos, and chaos is what this game is, and that's Silent Hill 2. You open the game, and I'm going with the remake. I love the original, but the remake, it just
Remake
does it
built on it better.
perfectly. Yes, with the storyline with James and how it's like you get the letter, you're trying to find her, you're caught in this purgatory of Silent Hill, all hell's breaking loose, and then you get to the end, and it's like you realize that. Aw.
I love you. Since
Oh,
Ryan just
wow.
stopped to say, "Oh, we might as well leave it in the episode." Yeah.
Well, unlike Silent Hill 2, I mean, you learn like he just gives up on his dying wife, and that's the curveball because you're
I mean, we're
the
getting
whole
there, buddy.
oh, she just left the room. I think that's the safety of it.
Yeah,
But he
we're okay.
you built up to the whole thing. You're just fighting to save your wife, and then you learn that you're the one who killed her basically by giving up on her.
Ooh,
And it's
didn't think about that.
yeah. I mean, it's such. I mean, you can get a happy ending. You can get a UFO ending.
There are a few of those. I want to
But
kill my wife. Am I right?
oh, damn.
All right, that's
I
the
mean,
end.
you can get a few of those happy endings in a bunch of places.
Fair.
But that's
because I have the wife.
but that's my top 5. I feel I like change it up a little bit because I've talked about so many movies that have that overarching like story with the subplot, like Angel Heart, for example, or even like a Final Destination that we've talked about. So I figured video games would be a nice breeze, breath
Yeah,
of
it's
fresh
cool.
air.
All right. I went with 5 unlikable protagonists in horror movies.
Sick.
Ooh, okay.
Sick.
And my number 5 is from earlier this year, and it's on my list. Remember, it's my list. I don't think that these characters were meant to be unlikable, but I hated every single one of them. It's a movie called Whistle. And so my big issue is really with the 2 main female protagonists who consistently ignore advice and make the situation worse. A group of misfit hodgepodge teenagers find an Aztec death whistle that's cursed, and of course, as you do, they blow it with disastrous consequences for the friend group. And, it just continue to make bad choices despite what everybody tells them. Now, from here on out, I think they're genuinely meant to be unlikable. My number 4 is a movie called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Just the setup ensures these characters will be difficult to like. A group of rich 20-somethings gather at a mansion for a hurricane party. They decide to play a game of bodies, 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 in which one of them will pretend to be a killer. As the storm rages, the power goes out, and the game becomes all too real. Pete Davidson is in this one. There's some other young and up-and-coming actors and actresses. It's good. It's fun. But you will not like anybody.
Were any of them up and coming in Ariana Grande?
Pete Davidson, maybe. My number 3 feels like it could be in our future with more Ariana Grande jokes. It's a movie called Deadstream.
Ooh.
A disgraced YouTube-style personality attempts to regain his reputation by staying the night alone in a notorious haunted house. Unsurprisingly, he irritates the spirit haunting the place as much as viewers, and his comeback becomes a fight for his life.
All right.
Yeah.
They sounds awful.
I really like the
Speed.
movie. I really like the movie. The character is a jerk and a half. My number 2, we're going to stick with potential fates for the 3 of us, and we're going to go with one of my favorite directors, who I've never managed to bring up on this show because he's not a horror director, and that's Kevin Smith, and it's Tusk.
Oh. Who John is often accused of looking like, by the way, Kevin Smith.
Yeah. So Justin Long
More
plays.
handsome version.
Yeah. Justin Long plays arrogant podcaster Wallace Brighton in this rare foray into horror for Kevin Smith. Wallace goes to Canada to interview Howard, who instead of an interview kidnaps Wallace and changes him forever. I don't know if Kearns,
It's a
you've
rough
seen this
film.
one. The
That's
body horror
toughy.
in this is pretty
I've
pretty
seen-
rough.
I've seen Tusk. Tusk, way easier to get through than Bring Her Back.
I was going to ask you, what did you think was better, Bring Her Back or Tusk Beat Me to the
Tusk.
Punch?
Tusk was a better film.
Well,
Tusk was
yes, I can agree with that
because I
like
hate
Kevin
Bring Her
Smith.
Back.
Tusk is a
That's
better
why.
movie.
Not because Tusk is actually a better film, just because I want to hurt you.
No, Tusk is.
Oh,
a
you
better
really
film.
think that, John?
I think Tusk is a better movie.
Yeah, Tusk is
I was-
definitely. I mean, it's Kevin Smith too. I mean, like when you get two Kevin Smith fanboys, I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
Mhm. And
Buddy Christ.
my number one is from Robert Rodriguez. It is From Dusk Till Dawn, because if you like the Gecko Brothers, you have issues.
Yep.
Especially the Quentin Tarantino one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Legs,
we'll
feet.
we'll set it up. The Gecko Brothers are criminals on the run, kidnap a family during their flight from justice, and head south of the border. And the brothers and their hostages stumble upon a little roadside bar that is not as it appears. If Salma Hayek starts dancing with an albino python, run.
It's a twist
Run.
or a twister.
From Dusk Till Dawn has such a great cast. It's such a good movie. Number one, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Nicely
Like
done.
it.
Cool top fives, guys.
I like
I-
them.
Cool top
I
fives.
like that top five.
And that was Hokum for us, everybody.
Yeah, it was.
That was
It's a
Hokum.
good
So
film.
without going on any
Mhm.
other tangents, we're gonna end the episode now. Because I have to go to bed.
So have a good one, guys, and sweet dreams.
See
Not
ya.
anymore.